Hello everyone, it's Decktionary. Today I'm playing amazing ABZAN Prayers Brew. Since MH3 I tried a bunch of Primal Prayers brews. I tried like Bant, I tried Naya, I tried all 3 version colors. Then I tried 4 color, I tried 5 color, basically everything there is. There always felt like some builds felt okay, some felt slightly better than the others, but all in all it seemed all very mediocre. And this one by far has been the most promising and the best Primal Prayers build I tried so far. Okay, so I kept it very simple, just Halfling and Malevolent Rumble for a bit of ramping. I got Guide of Souls as the best energy gaining piece, since this deck can definitely have ways to use the energy counters. Also the gaining life gain is important because of the One Ring. Renegade Relier is a great piece in this build, works great with Malevolent Rumble, but also can bring back our kill pieces like Corpse Knight, Green Belt Rampager, and the Guide of Souls sometimes if needed. Okay, so also it can ramp you into the ring or turn sooner. Sometimes that can be relevant as well. Also can bring back Orcish Bowmasters, which can be huge when playing against decks where Bowmaster is good. So a lot of good stuff going on here. And we got Primal Prayers combo. For those who don't know, in this deck, if you have Green Belt Rampager and Primal Prayers, you can basically cast this guy for free. How many times you want. If you have Guide of Souls on the field, you will also gain infinite life and infinite energy. You can always put Guide of Souls ability on the stack first, which means that you get to recast this instant speed with Primal Prayers on the field infinite times to gain infinite Guide of Souls abilities. If you have Corpse Knight on the field, opponent also loses infinite life, and there is your win condition. So you can sometimes gain infinite life, infinite energy, or if you have Corpse Knight, you can also just kill your opponent immediately. Okay, so that is it. Malevolent Rumble here to help you dig. One Ring also basically just to help you dig for your combo kill. And since you have Rumble and Halfling, it can be played on turn 3 and then get you towards the combo kill. Also, it's an artifact, so it works well with shifting woodlands. One shifting woodlands here. Sometimes woodlands can be very useful, becoming prayers if you have delirium. It's fairly easy to get delirium with if you resolve one rumble, so woodlands can definitely be a useful land in a build like this. In the sideboard, I got endurance. Very excited to play endurance again in this build. Plenty of green cards. It works great with prayers, it works great with Guide of Souls, so very happy for the endurance. It works great with Malevolent Rumble as well. I got 2 more Bowmasters, got Fatal Push, additional Static Prisons, 2 Sun Cleansers, and 2 Pitting Needles. Pitting Needles primarily as its deck doesn't have much else to beat something like Charbelcher, or it's also good against Yawgmoth and a lot of other abilities. So that is it. Also can be found with Malevolent Rumble, which can be very important as well. Okay, so another thing before we go to the gameplay, I want to remind you about my Decktionary profile. Decktionary is a Patreon-like page where I keep all my other non-video content. I make a lot of content here and I have 3 subscribe tiers. So in medium tier I hold 3 sideboard guides: Domain Zoo sideboard guide, Mardu Energy sideboard guide, freshly updated week ago, Mardu Bombardment sideboard guide updated month and something ago also. So 3 freshly updated sideboard guides in the medium tier, and I got Dimir's Frog sideboard guide, and extensive tips and tricks on energy in zoo article with 5500 words in guide tier top tier here. So that's it. We can now go check out the gameplay. Link for Decktionary and all other Moxfield and all other links are down below in the video description. Okay, so let's see how this deck performed. I was pretty happy how well did it go. Played a couple of leagues, tweaked some choices in the main, in the side, and yeah, it's really felt amazing. Okay, so here we go. Started off with Tomb, went for the Halfling. Opponent has the removal, they go for the Bolt, and yeah, I decide to go for the Rumble here, and I find the One Ring, put it into hand. Opponent next turn kills my Eldrazi Scions, so they connect with Ragavan, but they're a bit stuck on mana. And I go for a Relier here and I play Static Prison, taking opponent's Guide of Souls. They go for the Raptor and yeah, find another Raptor. That's not a big deal for me. They attack with Guide of Souls, put counters on it. So now I can resolve the One Ring. My hand is not bad. I have a double Relier, I have a Corpse Knight, so plenty of useful cards here. Okay, so here, on my turn, I untap, find Primal Prayers, and I'm a bit low on life, on 7 life at the moment. So I go for Gyro Souls first, then play the Primal Prayers. Now I go for Renegade Relier, triggering, getting another Guide of Souls from the graveyard, getting a bunch of these Guide of Souls abilities, gaining a lot of life, which is of course important when I have the One Ring on the field. And I created a pretty big board state on this turn, getting up to 15, which was amazing. Okay, so opponent surveils, then untaps on their turn, plays the Flage, kills my Corpse Knight, which is my combo piece. So I go for a land and I draw cards with the One Ring, finding both missing combo pieces. So it's important that you don't mess up your combo. In a situation like this, you have to find a way. When you have extra energy, you have to find a way to spend your energy. And if you have a Guide of Souls on the field, it's very easy to spend it. You just attack, put counters on it. Also, if you have multiple creatures and Primal Prayers, you can spend energy by just casting those creatures for 1 energy. Okay, so plenty of ways to do it, but you have to be careful so you don't mess it up. So here I will go for the Corpse Knight with a Guide of Souls ability on the stack. I play my Rampager, put Guide of Souls ability on the stack first, then Rampager ability resolves a second and goes into hand, and you just repeat that process, and all of your Guide of Souls abilities will be on the stack like this, and you will do the infinite drain, and after you're done with that, you will gain infinite life and energy. So pretty simple. Okay, so let's check out game 2. I was playing against Boros Energy, so let's check out my sideboarding plan against them. Most common matchup right now. Okay, so I boarded in all the fatal pushes, boarded out all the halflings, couple of rumbles, and 1 Relier. At this point, I had my Gadok Teagues, accidentally left them in the sideboard. Before initially in the first league I didn't have the One Ring in deck, so I only had Prayers, and I thought like playing Gadok Teague seemed okay. So I went for that. I went with Gadok Teague, but now yeah, they accidentally stuck in this league as well. But I can't really play them when I have both Ring and Primal Prayers in my list. So I replaced it with the Pitting Needle, as you saw in the beginning. Opponent here plays the Goblin Bombardment. They play the Bombardment, but yeah, we will see here. I go for Renegade Relier. let my static prison die, then return the static prison. I target the goblin bombardment. At this point, if my opponent sacrifices a creature, I will be able to kill their Ajani Planeswalker. So I attack for 6 damage, and I have the kill next turn if they don't do something. But yeah, they have the Flage here killing my Orc Army token with a bunch of counters, putting counters on their Guide of Souls, and now they have one card in hand. And yeah, I have a lot here. So I draw into Corpse Knight, which is great. It is my combo piece. I already have Primal Prayers in my hand, so I continue attacking them. My opponent has Flage, they can escape it, do whatever with it. But yeah, here you can see my opponent attacks with Flage, kill 2 of my creatures, get a bunch of these double Ocelot Pride token. And yeah, I draw cards with Ring, find the Rampager. Ring is just so good in finding the combo, and thanks to the Rumble and the Halfling, you can play it. You can play it very early and then combo on the next turn or in the next few turns. Ring really makes it super easy. As you can see, this is how the combo works. Guide of Souls ability always must be placed first, clicked first on the stack, and then the Rampager and Corpse Knight ability resolve before that. So we do infinite damage first, and then after that we get all these infinite life triggers and energy. So that's it. This is important because the Rampager ability says when it enters, you pay 2 energy. If you can't, you return it to your hand. So you want to not be able to play the 2 energy when you play this guy. So yeah, that's it. That was the win against Boros Energy. So let's check out another match. Okay, let's check out match 2 here. Okay, so this time playing first, keeping pretty decent hand. I have Guide of Souls and Delighted Halfling, but I decide since I can, if my Halfling survives, I can pretty decently just double spell on turn 2. So it seemed like a better play, and Rumble helps me dig. Helps me find the missing piece, which is at the moment Corpse Knight. Okay, so opponent is playing Storm, and I was playing first, and so because of that I was able to be faster than. As you can see here, this is turn 3 combo kill. Truly amazing, and all cards I play are really synergistic, work well with each other. Corpse Knight works decently in this deck because I have a lot of creatures. Everything I play makes a creature, so Guide of Souls making my mana dorks better. Sometimes you also will play Rampager as a beater, which can be a decent game plan, especially it's a 3-4 guy, and if you give it +2/+2 and flying, it can be pretty hard to get rid of. So that's it. That was game 1 against Storm. Let's check out game 2. Pretty amazing turn 3 combo kill against them, so I was faster than Storm this time. As you can see, my sideboarding plan here is remove all the Bowmasters, remove 3 Reliers, and yeah, bring in the Endurances. Endurance is most important here. Hates on their graveyard. Okay, I find a Halfling on top and I leave it on top. It enables me to play turn 3 Ring, and in the meantime I'm hoping for Endurance to slow my opponent down. Okay, so opponent just flashbacks, strike it rich, passes the turn, and put the land from the top in the graveyard, play the 1 ring, resolve the 1 ring. So whatever they do, I have protection for the next turn, so I can always draw into more solutions. Okay, here it goes. I have the 1 ring, drawing Guide of Souls, and I have the Rampager. So it's if I just find the Primal Prayers, it's already like infinite life with these 2 guys. And okay, so opponent plays a bunch of their the spells with Ral to try to flip Ral. And yeah, they flip it, but now they're on 0 card in hand, and I have double endurance, and Ral is only yeah, I'm pretty sure Ral was flipped here. Yeah, I think this thing is not showing something good. Okay, but yeah, Ral was flipped here, but only had 6 counters. They plus it on 7 counters. That's not enough. And I was able to play the Primal Prayers here, get 2 energy, and already have 1 energy in pool. So I can play the Endurance for 1 energy instant speed. It's just amazing, and it's a very low chance opponent getting something. They actually did find Manamorphose on their turn, and then hit Past in Flames, but I had Endurance, so opponent conceded on Endurance cast, and that was the game. I'm not sure why the game blocked and it didn't show what really happened, but it was very clean, a 2-0 win against Storm. Let's check out match 3. This is pretty decent hand. I played against blue-red wizard, I think. So I started off with turn 1 Gyro Souls, opponent bolts it. Passes the turn again, I decide to play my basic and just go for Rumble, but opponent has solution for that too. And now I go for Relier. Relier brings back my Gyro Souls. Seems like they don't have a counterspell this time. So my opponent had double gut shot, which was a bit weird, but since they didn't play counterspell last turn, I just went for the ring, tried to resolve it. And since my opponent didn't have counterspell last turn, I decided to go for it. I resolved the ring, and opponent just concedes at this point. They really can't battle the resolved one ring. Okay, so let's check out game 2. Okay, so I wasn't sure what I was exactly playing against, and I should have probably kept that starting 7. But I thought it's maybe like some tempo-ish blue-red list, but immediately since I saw the Tamio, I knew that it was just classic blue-red wizards. Okay, so I put Static Prison into graveyard. I don't have much here. My first hand was much better against their hand. And here opponent plays Tidebounder to block my Halfling. A Halfling can be definitely a problem for their deck. And opponent also had Ghost Vacuum, which didn't feel great. It was, yeah, it's slowly messing with my Relier here. Okay, so I go for the prayers here. It's slowly messing with my Relier, and also it has this strong 6 mana ability, and this game it seems like it's definitely going to go long. So Ghost Vacuum in this situation feels like a problem. Okay, so I go for the Static Prison. I can let the Static Prison die next turn, and that will trigger my Renegade Relier if needed. In this situation, especially when my opponent Tidebinders the Static Prison. Okay, so opponent exiles more cards and passes. Okay, so opponent attacks with Tidebinder. I let the damage through. Opponent only has 3 cards at this moment. So I go for the Relier. Relier triggers Corpse Knight. I target Static Prison, and yeah, not sure why, but my opponent lets this resolve. And they try to remove second Static Prison, but in response I play the Renegade Relier instant speed with Primal Prayers ability. And I returned that static prison as well, taking their ghost vacuum. But as you can see here, opponent had a snap bolt. Okay, so unfortunately my top decks were pretty terrible here. Just land into another land, and shifting woodlands didn't do much for me here. I don't have a delirium right now. It's not that easy to get delirium in this deck. Malevolent Rumble usually is needed to achieve it, and but it's still, I think, worth to playing one shifting woodland, since sometimes it can be a truly valuable piece. Okay, so opponent is in a pretty good situation here. I do find the One Ring. I don't have enough energy at this moment. And my opponent has counterspell for my One Ring, so that is the game. I concede this one. So let's check out game 3. Yeah, this was no lands, and then a weird hand, so I had to go down on 5. So that wasn't easy. But yeah, here this was very interesting game. You will see. Opponent, I trimmed some of the reliers, as you can see. I trimmed a couple of reliers only, have 2 reliers. My opponent started off with Ghost Vacuum. As you can see here, this is my sideboarding plan. So I decided to leave out all the static prisons out, and just leave 2 fatal push in the main. Board in 2 endurance, board out 2 rumble, board out 2 reliers, bring in some yeah, endurance as my graveyard hate piece, and Orcish Bowmasters. I think, yeah, Orcish Bowmasters pretty good here. Okay, opponent has a Snapcaster. And yeah, as you can see here, my opponent steals my One Ring, which I casted with Delighted Halfling. I was pretty happy about that. But opponent steals the One Ring with Commandeer. But they don't play the One Ring themselves, and they don't have a good clock. So there is a high chance the One Ring will do a lot of damage to them. And the only thing how they can prevent the One Ring killing them eventually is like a Tidebinder countering the ring ability. So that was what they were looking for. And here at this situation, they can't tap the ring. If they tap it, they are dead next turn. So opponent can't tap the One Ring at this point. I go for the rumble, and it was the worst rumble ever. I find 4 lands. And yeah, okay, so opponent is now on 1 life. They have 4 more looks for Tidebinder. And I go for end of turn Surveil. It seems impossible in this situation for my opponent to do the kill with the bolt, snap, bolt. So I decided to fetch, go for the Surveil. I find Endurance on top. Endurance is interesting in this situation. It can prevent them trying to Snapcaster again into something, but yeah, they just die from the One Ring they stole with Commandeer, and that was pretty funny actually, yeah. Opponent steals my One Ring and then dies from it. That's really something. Okay, so that was it. That was the match against blue-red Wizards. So now let's check out match number 4. Okay, so this hand is great. I really like hands like this one, where you can go like turn 2, Renegade Relier, get your land back, and play Static Prison immediately on something. But my opponent starts off with Totsis, so when they started off with Totsis, I thought like, okay, so they discard Relier, so they probably have another discard for the One Ring, but that wasn't the case. They just let me have the ring. I'm not sure why, but I won't complain. So I resolved my one ring, get the protection, pass the turn, opponent plays Tainted Indulgence, finds their third land and passes. Okay, so here I go for the rumble. And I'm trying to find my last combo piece, and here it is, the green belt Rampager. Okay, I'll also keep a second ring on the top. Keeping second ring on the top seemed great, in case my opponent, in case they put me down on life or something, I need to remove this one or get the protection for a turn. I also have all the combo pieces in my hand. So I try to go for Primal Prayers, but opponent uses the Force of Negation. Maybe I should have gone for Static Prison first to make them force death. Maybe that was better play. And now I didn't have enough mana for a second Prayers. But it still feels like I don't need to rush it. I can just go for the Prayers again. And yeah, my opponent doesn't have the reanimation, and they realized that they can't win against the ring anymore. So that was the game. I have the combo kill next turn. I'm not sure if I show them the combo kill or not, but yeah, that would be over on the next turn anyway. Okay, so that was game 1. Let's check out game 2. Okay, so only one land here can keep, and that hand was weird as well. So I keep decent hand here, Gyro Souls plus Rumble into turn 2 into turn 3 ring. That seems pretty decent. You can see my sideboarding plan here. Obviously, I definitely want my endurance. So 3 endurance go in, 1 fatal push goes in as well. From the sideboard, I decided to remove a couple of halflings, all the reliers, because I was expecting some graveyard hate from the opponent too, and relier kind of felt a bit slow. Here my opponent has Goryo's Vengeance, but they don't have ephemerates to let Atraxa live. Okay, so I go for now I have 4 mana, but I know they have Force of Negation in hand, so I go try to resolve Primal Prayers on purpose to keep my one ring in hand. I don't have combo pieces yet, so resolving Primal Prayers is not like immediate concern. Okay, so I go for the one ring now. They already used the Force of Negation, and I was able to resolve it. But yeah, I didn't think they would be playing Zeatora Proving Ground, so I was thinking that they probably can play Binding this turn, but only next turn. So I tried to tap the one ring immediately, but they had Zeatora to go for the Binding immediately. Now they play the second frog, so I had the removal to kill one frog, play my Gyro Souls and start attacking them. Unfortunately, I can't cast Orcish Bowmaster on this turn, but it's okay. So I knew they had Wrath of the Skies in hand, so I played the Gyro Souls to kind of force them into using the Wrath of the Skies, and now I also find ring, and I have a fatal push for the frog, which opponent uses ephemerate to dodge. So I cast another ring to get another protection. Yeah, here it is, Primal Prayers and Green Belt Rampager. So I only need one piece to combo kill them. I will be drawing more cards, and here it is, the Endurance, and I go for the Primal Prayers. I have Endurance, and I can play Endurance right now, which disables my opponent from getting flying with a frog by just exiling 3 cards. But but my opponent would be able to discard 3 cards anyway, and get flying on frog. I was waiting and to see if they will do anything anything on my turn. They didn't, and they just discarded couple of cards with frog, give it flying, and put me down on 5. But here I find Corpse Knight, which was my last missing combo piece. I go for the combo kill, and my opponent has Tainted Indulgence. And I copy the Gyro Souls from the yard with Shifting Woodlands, so I also gain infinite life in response. This is important because of the One Ring, and if they find some interaction here. So, but my opponent didn't have anything special, and that was the game. So yeah, that was the win against Gorios. So now we can check out the match 5 trophy match, which again I played against Blue-Red Wizards. And Blue-Red Wizards is not a great matchup for this deck. I think it's probably one of the worst matchups for this deck, and I played it twice in this league. I didn't play this matchup for a long time. It's kind of weird to see it that much. And yeah, here I go for Gyro Souls, and Rampager get additional free energy. My opponent uses Bolt to kill my second Gyro Souls, but I go for Renegade Relier and return Gyro Souls, so pretty good value here with Relier. Opponent goes Preordain and Tamio. I find removal for Tamio, continue attacking them, but my opponent has another removal, a great hand for the opponent. And I go for the Primal Prayers here. I do have a Greenbelt Rampager, which is one combo piece. But here opponent steals my Primal Prayers. So I go for the attack. And I decide to play Rampager as a 3-4 beater. In this situation, it felt like I don't have much chance of comboing them anyway, and they're already on 11, so it seemed like a good decision. Okay, so opponent surveils, and so I'm not sure why the replay doesn't go to the end few times in this league, but I was able to attack them next turn, put them down on 5, and but unfortunately I find a land from the top, and it was a fetch. I tried to surveil to find the Lyrium, but I didn't get it. If I found the Lyrium, I would be able to attack with extra creature, which would maybe be relevant. And I can of course copy Gyro Souls or something else I put there. And yeah, I put them down on 5, and then I attack them down to 1 life, but my opponent stabilizes on 1 life and then overwhelms me with Flame of a Norse and other control-y stuff. So yeah, unfortunately didn't get to see that. Because yeah, the replay didn't go till the end, but yeah, never mind, it was close enough. And yeah, here I mulligan on 6. I decide to bottom Gyro Souls. Maybe that wasn't the best decision. Opponent has a removal for heat, especially since I draw more lands from the top. Opponent again has a bunch of removals, pretty good hand for the opponent. And yeah, I find a Gyro Souls with Malevolent Rumble. And I have the One Ring next turn. I think this was a mistake. I should have gone for a White Source here and cast the Corpse Knight. And my opponent had the perfect hand for my line of play. I should have went for Corpse Knight. Try to catch removal with the Corpse Knight, and or try to wait if they will untap on their turn, which they did. they tapped on their turn to be able to flip the Tamio. So if I waited a turn and try to hardcast the ring now, maybe this would be a completely different game. It would be very hard for them to get rid of the one ring. Okay, so in this time I sideboarded slightly different. Uh, I thought my first blue-red opponent didn't have Murktide, so I sideboarded all the static prison out, but this time I kept the static prison, 2 static prisons in, so I have a solution if they play the Murktide. In the first match it were long games, so my conclusion in those games were they probably don't have Murktide. So but this time I boarded in slightly different. Okay, Garoctiques were absolutely useless in this league on the sideboard, and yeah, okay, but I replaced them anyway with Pitting Needles for the reasons I said before. Okay, so that's it. I'm very excited for this build of Primal Prayers. Very excited about this card from the beginning, and I tried a bunch of brews with it, and not that these brews weren't bad, but it's just that this one feels better than all of those I tried before, and I tried all of them. I tried literally like 5 color, 4 color. I tried Bant, I tried Naya. They were okay. I think one of the best version I tried was like a Bunt version with Doorport Mage as my plus Tas Oracle as my win condition. But I posted those builds I think in on Discord and maybe on Twitter. But I really liked this one better. Renegade Relier felt like really a good piece in this build together with Rumble and getting back Corpse Knight. Of course, you can do this with Port Mage and Tassa Oracle as well, but it's much simpler to get the kill here. And Green Begled Rampager felt a better piece than it is to play like a Shrieking Drake, because Shrieking Drake is a 1-1, easier to kill when you're doing the combo. So I wanted to rely more on the Rampager as a combo piece, and the Rampager doesn't require Gyro Souls to combo, so you just need Prayers and Rampager plus Corpse Knight to get the kill. Also, Corpse Knight works well in this aggro strategy, just draining life from the opponent with every creature entering the field, which happens a lot, of course, in this build, especially when you have Primal Prayers out. So all in all, I'm very happy with this one, and it's kind of the simplest version I tried so far. And Corpse Knight is just it's just a kills without complications that sometimes you can get when playing Doorport Mage. Also, Doorport Mage kills are slightly longer to achieve, which can be relevant at times if you're playing a slower build, which goes to time often. Okay, so that's it. That's it. So here, when you have Corpse Knight, you just play it infinitely and say opponent, okay, you lose infinite life. That is the game. With Doorport Mage, you have to draw one card after another. It's a long process that lasts, takes a lot of time. It's pretty slow, and then you have to find a Tas Oracle, which you also have to resolve, and the spell and the ability. And you also have to be careful about how many Doorport Mage's ability you have on the stack, so you don't draw too many cards or too few cards. It's there are some complications, but when you're playing this, there's no complication. You just do the combo. It's as simple as it can be, and I really like this one. And we also get to play the Orcish Bowmasters, which are definitely important, especially when you compare them with Rumble plus Relier. And okay, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Friendly reminder to click like, click subscribe, Comment down in the video below how do you feel about this Primal Prayers build in comparison to some others I posted before or had on channel before, or you saw somewhere else. Okay, so that is it. Again, thank you for watching and goodbye.